James Swanwick here. Welcome to another episode. Only positive things happened when I stopped drinking, and I'm going to share some of those with you in today's episode. But first I want to read you a quote. The television host Craig Ferguson, you may have seen him on late night TV. He's a stand-up comedian. He's a writer, actor, director, producer, and voice artist. He's Scottish, actually. He's been on American TV for quite a number of years, but he doesn't drink. I'll read a quote from him. He says, "I got sober. I stopped killing myself with alcohol. I began to think, wait a minute, if I can stop doing this, what are the possibilities? And slowly it dawned on me that it was maybe worth the risk." So yeah, there you go. There's a pretty cool quote from Craig Ferguson. Seems pretty successful and healthy these days as opposed to previous years when he wasn't. We're going to do 12 positive things that happened when I quit drinking alcohol. Just a reminder, if you're looking for a cost-effective solution to stopping drinking, you want some support, or you maybe just want to reduce alcohol, then you're welcome to check out our new Better AF program. You can go to alcoholfreelifestyle.com/betteraf. And if you want to commit to at least 90 days alcohol-free and really knock alcohol on its head for a lifetime, then you may want to check out Project 90, and you can schedule a call with us. You can go to alcoholfreelifestyle.com/Project 90, and both of those links are in the description of this episode. All right, so one of the things that happened when I stopped drinking was my home life improved. First of all, I eliminated alcohol from my home. If I saw a bottle of wine in the fridge or beer in the cupboard, it obviously would tempt me to drink. So alcohol was either thrown in the trash or was hidden in the back of the fridge, or I put it in a different room. It's vitally important that you set your environment up for success. If you eliminate the alcohol from your home, then in my experience, you remove the temptation. In fact, I interviewed James Clear, who wrote a book called Atomic Habits. I think it's sold about 3 million copies now, New York Times bestseller. And I interviewed him some years ago, and the video and the interview is actually as part of the curriculum in our Project 90 coaching program. And he taught me and taught our clients as well to hack our environment in a way that gets us thinking about healthy liquids like soda water or Perrier or Pellegrino instead of alcohol. And you know, James Clear is considered probably like the best habits expert on the planet. There's another guy called BJ Fogg who's very good. I think he wrote a book called Tiny Habits, BJ Fogg. Anyway, James Clear was saying in that interview that I did with him that if you are going to keep wine in the fridge, then best that you put it on the top shelf behind other things. So you actually have to squat down or kneel down to actually see the wine. And that just makes it a little bit more challenging. Likewise, he suggested if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. So instead of keeping wine in the fridge, you just go and put it in the garage, and you put it sort of behind some bags or stuff that you've got in the garage. Make it really challenging to get to. So then if you really want to drink, you've got that blockage of time, or that period of time, I should say, from where you really want the drink to actually having to go outside of your home into the garage, climb up on a ladder, go to the back and actually retrieve a bottle of wine. So it kind of makes it a bit more challenging for you to do so, and it gives you moments of pause to really think through the drink. In my view, in my experience, you're best just get rid of alcohol from the home. I mean, I've had clients who come to me and say, I'm drinking too much, and they've got these wine cellars that they've invested thousands of dollars in, and they join us in Project 90 and they end up throwing all the wine out, and the wine cellar just goes unused. And in their mind, it's like a waste of investment, but they also, initially they think it's a waste of the investment, because a lot of times people have spent a lot of money putting a wine cellar in. However, they realize that the investment in the wine cellar is also depriving them of health and sleep and destroying their marriage and leading them not being as present with their children, feeling unhappy and having stress and anxiety. So in actual fact, the disintegration of the cellar or the disuse of the cellar becomes an investment in their own health and happiness. Another example, actually, just on how you can hack your environment is keep a bookshelf in the very spot where your TV might be. So, for example, in almost in the majority of homes across America, certainly, but I would suggest across the world, where does the living room sofa face? What does it face? It faces a TV, doesn't it? But imagine if you just removed your TV and instead replaced the TV with a bookshelf. So every day when you would come home or sit down on the sofa, you would stare at a bookshelf instead. You were more likely to pick up a book and read it as opposed to stare at a screen. But most people, like the way that they position and set up their habitat, so to speak, is to have their living room sofa, face a screen. So they sit down, they pick up a remote control, they turn on the TV, and then they find themselves watching TV for 2 hours. So likewise, if you have a view of wine or beer or liquor or scotch or something like that, my invitation to you is remove it. Because when you're looking at it, you're thinking about it, and when you're thinking about it, you're more likely to consume it. All right, the second thing that happened was that I made new friends. My heavy drinking friends would tend to give me a hard time about my new lifestyle choice. They would say something like, go on, just have one. One of my friends, Zach, who's an American, lives in Encino, north of Los Angeles in California. He would say, I remember him very distinctly saying, oh, you run Australian. He actually thought I was a recovering alcoholic who obviously had a problem. And at first, it did bother me. Some friends even tried to slip vodka into my drink, so I had to make a point of always sniffing the drink that they'd ordered me. In fact, Zach did the very same thing. We were actually over in New York on a trip with his brother Nick and I, the three of us, and we were in a bar in the Lower East Side, and he said, "It's my round. Do you want a drink?" And I said, "Yep, soda water." And he went off to the bar, came back, gave me my drink, and as I went to put it to my mouth, I kind of looked at him, and he was smirking, watching me intently. And then I kind of smelt the drink, and I said to him, "Did you put vodka in this?" And he started laughing and saying, "Yeah, I did." And in a very crass, coarse, and common Australian way, very vulgar, I said, "You wanker." Excuse my French there. I hope you don't have children listening. Very Aussie way of saying you're a bit of a dickhead. Yeah. So, he was, let's see, when that happened, I was 35. He was early 30s. The older you get, I think the less likely your friends are going to do something like that. Let's call it he was being a bit immature at that time. But in any case, it wasn't that I cut Zach. It wasn't that I cut my friends when I went alcohol-free, but I did notice that I started to gravitate towards a different type of friend. So because my interest started moving towards health and vitality and exercise and nutrition, I tended to naturally attract people who were also interested in those things, and those people tended to be people who either A, didn't drink, or B, didn't need to drink for fun or social interaction. Sure, they may have drunk alcohol, but, maybe it was a glass here or there. It certainly wasn't like this necessity to relieve stress or this necessity in order to relieve social anxiety from being in a crowd. We tend to be influenced by the people that we're around the most. So to cut alcohol from my life, I just naturally, reduced the time spent with people who drank a lot, such as Zach. Like I said, I didn't consciously make a choice and say, that's it, I'm not going to hang out with him anymore. It's just my preferences changed and I started to be distracted and, I welcomed the distraction of a new type of friend, if that makes sense. For example, I made new friends at the gym. I remember when I was living in Hollywood at the time, I went up to Hollywood Boulevard to the left of Chinese Man Theatre there, where the Hollywood Walk of Fame is, and there was a big LA Fitness that opened up there, and I started going to that gym where I met people who were into health and fitness. There were yoga classes there, which I tried. I started to join some entrepreneurial masterminds. I actually went up to meetup.com and joined a few groups. And when I got in with a new health conscious crowd, I consistently met more health conscious people. And so that made, staying quit from alcohol a whole lot easier. This podcast is sponsored by my eyewear and sleep optimization company, Swanwick. If you suffer eye strain from computer use, you find it challenging to focus and concentrate, your sleep is poor, you have low energy, you're tired and sometimes experience anxiety, then it could be because you're staring into screens all day and night. Swanwick produces stylish blue light blocking glasses to help you sleep better and generate more energy and focus during the day. A Harvard University and University of Washington published study revealed that Swannies wearers reported sleeping 14% better during the night and were 9% more productive during the day. That's huge. Swannies are currently worn as a sleep and performance aid by professional athletes at teams including the Dallas Cowboys, New York Knicks, Manchester United, and many more. They've been featured on media including The Dr. Oz Show, Live with Kelly and Ryan, and The New York Times. I personally designed Swannies back in 2015, and they've now helped almost 200,000 people sleep and perform better. And because you're a listener of the Alcohol Free Lifestyle podcast, you can now get your pair and enjoy 15% off. To get the best blue light blocking glasses on the market, go to swannies.com and enter code JAMES at checkout for 15% off. That's swannies.com and enter code JAMES at checkout for 15% off. Third positive thing that happened when I stopped drinking was I managed my stress considerably better. So feeling like you need a drink to relieve your stress is usually a response to stress, boredom, or loneliness. So when I felt that need, I recall holding my breath for about 10 seconds and exhaling for 10 seconds. Now, there's many different ways that you can do this breath work. In fact, I was watching an interview recently with someone from Ziva Meditation who I also interviewed for our Project 90 clients and members, and she did a kind of like an exclusive breath class for our clients. But really, the long and the short of it is any type of intentional breathing is going to help you reduce your stress and anxiety. So, just breathing in very deeply, holding, and then exhaling very intentionally, doing that 5 or 6 times was enough most of the time to reduce my stress and anxiety, which made my craving for an alcoholic drink pass. Other times when I felt I needed a drink, I walked around the block, I went outside, I jumped up and down, I drank a tall glass of cold water, and, just changing my environment, changing my physiology tended to make my desire to drink subside. Meditation, I built some resilience through meditation. I must concede that I do not meditate every day, but recently, certainly, I've been trying to every day, and I've ended up meditating probably 5 days a week, maybe 6, probably 5. And I do notice a difference. And then even very recently, in the last couple of days, in fact, I've returned to swimming laps in a public pool, and I swim for exactly 30 minutes, just freestyle. I put in some aqua earbuds because my ears are prone to getting water stuck in them. I got some goggles, and I just swim 30 minutes of laps back and forth in a 25-meter pool. And that is a form of meditation because all I'm really doing is staring at that black line at the bottom of the pool. And it's, it just helps to control my thoughts. Likewise, at the same time, because I'm exerting myself, I'm having to breathe very deeply. So for me, it's kind of like meditation and breath work in one when you're doing laps of a pool. Because, every 3 strokes, I'm taking a breath. Then I'm holding my breath as I'm taking 3 strokes. And then after 3 strokes, I'm breathing again. So imagine sitting down in a spot and breathing intentionally for 30 minutes. I think that's kind of boring and challenging, but do it in a pool where you can combine exercise, meditation. By meditation, I mean staring at a black line at the bottom of the pool for 30 minutes, and breath work. Wow, that's powerful. You feel $1 million in the, about 10 minutes after you finish doing the laps and for hours afterwards. So I would encourage anyone listening to give it a shot if you haven't already done so. At the time I downloaded some meditation apps like Calm and Headspace. I'm a big supporter of an app called Mindfulness now. A friend of mine, Matt Dickinson, actually owns the company, and an American friend of mine, Corey Moscara, is the head coach there at Mindfulness. So you can check that out, Mindfulness app, or go to mindfulness.com and tell them that I sent you. Really nice folks over there. You can use that to help you meditate. At the time, I even went hardcore and I attended a 10-day silent meditation, which is called Vipassana, where I didn't talk for 10 days. That seemed pretty extreme, but it was great. It was terrific. In fact, I recall I went to the Burning Man festival in the Nevada desert in the 10 days before I went to do Vipassana in a place called 29 Palms? I think it's called 29 Palms or 23 Palms. It's about 2 hours outside of Los Angeles near the Joshua Tree. So it was kind of the like both extremes. I just went to a very hedonistic place in the desert, that being Burning Man, with lots of weird things and weird people and weird experiences. I mean, fun, terrific. And then, left the desert, drove a few hours, 29 Palms, and went straight into a 10-day silent meditation. I mean, talk about two extremes. But that's something worth trying. I think you can do little 2 or 3 day meditations as well, where you don't have to do 10 days if 10 days is too much to commit to. I recall when the urge to drink came up, I also reminded myself of my why, which was I was choosing not to drink. I was choosing why I wasn't drinking so I could regain control of my life. The fourth thing that happened was I slept like a baby. Studies show that even a small amount of alcohol messes with your sleep. And when I quit drinking, I fell asleep quicker. I enjoyed more deep restorative REM sleep. And according to medical findings, alcohol does allow healthy people to fall asleep quicker and sleep more deeply. So, sorry, let me rephrase that, because I realized that didn't make any sense. What I was trying to say was, while drinking alcohol will allow you certainly to fall asleep quicker, it will reduce the quality of your sleep. So while it's true that drinking alcohol can make you drowsy and sleepier and, seemingly help you wind down for the night and ultimately fall asleep, the quality of your sleep will be compromised. That's because there are a whole lot of toxins in alcohol. Your body is now having to go to work to break down the toxins from alcohol and the poison that you've just put in your body at a time when it really wants to be in deep restorative sleep. In fact, what I'm about to say is going to sound crazy, but you're actually better off drinking alcohol for breakfast first thing in the morning to give your body 12 hours to get rid of the toxins so you can sleep better than you are drinking alcohol at the end of the day, in the last 3 hours before you go to sleep, for example. That's because it takes the body, a good 12 hours to get rid of the toxins from alcohol. So, the more you drink before bed, the more, the crappier your sleep is going to be. And, when you wake up in the morning, you're going to have that drowsiness, poor concentration. It's going to rob you of clarity and focus. It's not good. I remember, because I started to focus on my sleep from not drinking, I started wearing blue light blocking glasses that block the dangerous blue light that's emitted from your cell phone displays and your computer and TV screens. And blocking that light with a pair of orange lens blue light blocking glasses certainly quietens your mind and helps you sleep better. I became such a proponent and a believer in that I actually created my own company called Swanwick Sleep. And I produce blue light blocking glasses that are affectionately known by its customers as Swannies. In fact, you may have heard one of my commercials for Swannies on this very podcast. And in that commercial, I say if you go to swanwicksleep.com and purchase one of my blue light blocking glasses, you're welcome to use the code JAMES at checkout, which will give you 15% off. Really, I can't stress enough, wearing a pair of blue light blocking glasses at night, about 30 to 40 minutes before you want to go to sleep, is a game changer for your sleep. We've had Harvard University, University of Washington, put them through independent tests, and the results came back that people in the study reported sleeping 14% better, and they said that they were 9% more productive during the day after a night's sleep after they had worn blue light blocking glasses. More specifically, our blue light blocking glasses. That's Swannies from Swanwick Sleep. All right, well, we've got through 4. There's still lots to go. So I might cut this in half and start another podcast episode, actually. So let's hit pause for now. We'll wrap that up, and then the next episode that you see will be part 2 of 12 positive things that happened when I quit alcohol. It'll be number 5 through 12. So thank you for listening. And if you want to roll into the next episode, then just roll into the next episode, and I will complete the 12 positive things that happened when I stopped drinking alcohol. Thanks so much for listening. Here are 5 ways I can support you on your health journey. Number one, the Better AF group support. You can go to alcoholfreelifestyle.com/betteraf. That is group virtual coaching to help you to stop drinking. The YouTube channel at alcoholfreelifestyle.com/YouTube. The book, Alcohol Freedom Formula, can be found at alcoholfreelifestyle.com/guide. My liver cleanse from my supplements company, Swan Vitality, at swanvitality.com. And protect your eyes from screens by wearing a pair of Swannies blue light blocking glasses from my sleep company, Swanwick Sleep. You can find that at swannies.com. Catch you on the next one.